we're going to trace out our bodies here. So the paper is here. All I'm going to do now is I am going to trace out my upper bodies, right? Now, because from here, this is our waistline, this is where our waistline ends. All you do is just extend it by 7 inches below your waist on the back and the front pattern. So it goes this way. Just draw it out like that, and I'll also draw the back to the same way. And then now I'm going to now make sure I align the pattern here, the center of it here, and make sure it aligns with the lower bodies here. I do the same way for the back pattern too. Make sure it aligns, and then I draw out this way. It has to touch on that line itself, that way. So here I with that way, and that way. So not forgetting that you can also, when you want to make your outfit, it's not meant to be on the bust itself because it doesn't flatter you. All you do now is on this side you come back by 1.5 here, centralize it, and here you come down by 5/8 of an inch because it's not flattering to sew your designs to the bust point itself. So this is for the upper bodies, right? So this is our, that leg done. And then the next thing that you're going to go and place your hip measurements on, this side and also the one for the back. So for my hip measurement, my hip arc front, I'm going to place it here. So if you subscribe for the 5 basic blocks, you know how to calculate your hip arc front and your hip arc back. So for me, my hip arc front is 10 3/4. I put it here. My hip arc back is 11 1/4. The back, has more volume in terms of your bum. So then now I have to align it with the upper one to get the shape out like a full. So this is a full upper body. This is the back. Next thing we're going to do is you have to look at your under bust. Me, my under bust is 14.5. So I'm going to mark 14.5 here. I am also going to mark it on the other dart leg. Can you see? 14.5, right? Once I get my 14.5, so here, wherever you want your corset to get to, you draw your line here. So now the corset normally doesn't come to the armhole. It starts from the armpit side, this armhole on the side. So most times you come down by half because it's not flattering for your bustier to be going under your armpits and then your sweat and everything. So now you don't want, wherever you want your chest line to get to, if you don't want your cleavage to show, you want your cleavage to show wherever you want yours to get to. For me, I want my own to get to this 7 inches down here. So 7 inches is just fine. So I'm going to just draw a straight line. I'm going to square the line on that 7 inches, right? So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure the middle of my shoulder line. So my mid shoulder is 2.5 because my shoulder is 5. So half of my shoulder length, I connect it to the bust point here. Can we see? So once you connect it to the bust point there, I also connect this place here to my center front. It's a guideline that I need to know that this is my bust point here. If I want to do any design, I know where to curve it to. So this is how it's going to be like. Now I'm going to take my curve. First of all, use your hand here. So me, I don't always like my bust to be showing on this side. So I take it this way, and then I take it that way, like this. It depends on how you want your bustier to be. Whatever style that you want for your bustier, you put it there. So I want my own to curve to the center front like this. So that's what I'm drawing out here. I want it curved to the center front like that. So just use your ruler to create a very, very smooth curve like that. So it's like this. So that place that you marked your half your under bust, you come in by 1/2 inch here on both sides. Here too, you come in by 1/2 inch here on both sides, right? So once what you do now is that 1/2 inch mark, you take it back to your bust point, the one that you marked at 5/8, and take it back, this one to go this way. Then you bring this one here like this. Can we see what I'm doing? And you bring this one to the waist. Can we see that? So that is not all. So the bustier now, this is how it is. It is round. Just make sure it's rounded like that. Okay. So on this line here, you come back by 5 inches. I mean 1/2 inch also, and here to 1/2 inch. That 1/2 inch here, you connect it also to your bust point this way. Connect this one to your bust point this way, right? So the next thing we're going to do now is we are going to contour here. So how do we contour? You take your curve ruler. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to take my curve ruler and then I'm going to blend. So it's going to touch from the bust point on that 5/8, right? I'm going to take it, this one is going to come this way from here. So I'm going to take from the, I'm going to curve the one that is going to the bust, and then I'll blend it to that 5/8 inch that way, and make it go beyond that line, and then I'll bring it from here like this and blend it back. So once I do like that, I just make sure I smoothen this part, my ruler too, like that, and then it goes this way. So now, what I'm not going to be using this side is either you use this side as your yoke, or you remove it totally and it is a full bustier. Or if you want it to have sleeves, like spaghetti sleeve, whatever is left up here, you measure it. That, see, I'm measuring like 5¾ So that means I'm going to put a spaghetti sleeve of 5¾ on this front side. So that's how it's measured, so that you know that when you wear your outfit with your spaghetti, it's balanced. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this bustier now. Now it now depends, okay, on this bustier. I'm going to cut it out like this. So I don't need this upper bodice here again. Like this, like this. I'm going to follow it down to this place. And then I'm going to cut this out soon. So let me put this one aside. So now, because it's actually a bustier, can you see? It's actually a bustier. So I'm going to be cutting away. I'm going to be removing all this place. That is where we are going to contour, like to give it fit. And we are not going to be needing all this part also. Like this, like this, like this, right? So what you're going to do now is I'm going to now label it front panel 1, front panel 2, right? But before we go ahead, on the waist, for it to cinch more, you can just come in by 1/2 inch on the waist. So I brought it in by 1/2 inch on the waist. You connect it back to that this point, and then you connect this back to the hip point here, and then we're going to remove this out of the equation. So now I'm going to cut it out. So just watch as I'm cutting it. So I'm cutting it this way, like this, and then going up all the way like this. So this is my front panel 1. Now I'm going to keep it here. Then I'm going to cut this one also from this top part here, like this, and then we're bringing it this way. Follow the curve of the bust that I contoured that way, like this, like that. So we're not using this anymore. You can already see that it's having this curve, and we're also going to remove that place that is shaped so that it can have a cinch waist on the side. I'm going to remove that. So it's giving us this now. Now that is not all. What we are now going to do, because this is a dart here, we need to remove this dart. We have to put this dart into the design, and the way to do that is we are going to keep this aside. We're going to now take this panel to place it on another paper, right? So for us to be able to do that now, we are going to now do a slash and spread. So let me cut this paper off so that it gives me freedom of movement. So we're going to now slash from this center to the point where we have the point here, and then we're going to go ahead and slash any of the lines left or right of this opening. We'll stop at that point also. So what we are going to do is we're going to close it. So the moment we close this space, the design will automatically open up here. So I used to call it the fish mouth. So once you just open that design, that mouth. So we have successfully transferred the dart and the excess into the design. So the next thing we're going to do is you are now going to trace this out. Now on this lower one, not the upper one, lower one, you extend it by a 1/4 inch outwards. When you extend it, you now take your curve ruler. You can use your arm curve and then blend it back here, like into this point under the bust. You blend it back under the bust. You carry the other one to come in from here like this. Can you see? So there's a tendency that there will be a kind of bulge. You just always blend any irregular, curve with your curve ruler. So you can see that I have blended. So this is going to be my final panel 2 that I'm going to be using when I want to cut my. And you can see this is how it's going to look like. Just tell me, without even making the outfit yet, it's already giving me, that vibe, Bustier vibe. So this is about the front panel. So this is the back side for the Bustier. So for the back side, it's just so straightforward. It's the bodies that we created for the back. At the armpit level also, you come down by side on the armpit on the side. Come down by the 1/2 inch that we still applied in front. Now this is your center back. This is our center back here. So all you do is, now there's one thing you call contouring. You have to draw this your dart leg. You carry your dart leg all the way up to this line. If you go and check my drafting video, you will see that there's a line that crosses here. This line is called the across back. It's that line that crosses from the mid armhole to your center. So you're now going to extend the dart to that line. The reason why we are extending the dart to that line is for it not to gape when we draw out our bustier, for it not to gape. So now we have done this 1/2 inch down. Now this is our center back. So you can just square out a line from that 1/2 inch, but make sure you put a square like this here. So whatever design you want to put at the back, you can put. If you want it straight, you can make it straight. If you want to have a V back, you can make it V back. But I just want to use the straight for the basic explanation. So now I have done this. So this is going to be the yoke side, which we will not be making use of because it's a bustier. But if you intend to make use of it, just keep it aside and measure the length from here to here, which is giving me 8 3/4. That's going to be your spag sleeve. But since it's not going to have a spag, it's just a bustier, we are now going to cut it out from there. So this is just so straightforward. So we're going to cut it out now. We're going to label it back panel 1 and back panel 2. So now you see this point here, we're going to remove everything, and this is the opening here. We have to remove it. This is what we are going to remove. So before I remove, I'm going to label it as in upside, downside, downside and upside. This is the zip area so that I will know, and this is the side area. If you don't do that, when you cut it, there might be a mix up. You might place this place upside down, so it's always good to label your this. So that's just all for the back pattern. So this is the front on the side here, and this is the complete bustier pattern. So this same one, if you now want to do your kind of you know, it's going to have a lace back, all you just have to do is on this last pattern is at the zipper side, just come in by 2 inches here, you come in by 2 inches here too, and then you draw a straight line like that. That's the 2 inches. So there's 2 inches now. We are going to be discarding it. We don't need it. So it's going to allow you to be able to create lace at the back. So once you remove this, now you will now create like a channel for your lace, right? It depends on how well you want it to cinch. If you really want it to cinch, you remove 2 inches. If you don't want it to cinch, you just want the exact, all you do is just create your eyelets on this side. But if you want it to cinch, you have to open this up and discard it. So it's going to just be this part that will be there, right? It's just going to be this part that will be there, and then you create your eyelets. So that's just about it. It is how to create corset from this one, right? It's so easy. So now this is how to create the corset. Now you know that this is our waist level here, right? And it's this point. So what we are going to do is our under bust level. This is the under bust level here. Here, you're going to mark it out on the both sides so that you know where it's going to, you know, come from. So for you to create your bust, it's just so easy. You just carry your curve from that point under the bust. You just carry your curve to wherever you want it to get to. Put it. So for me, I'm just going to do it this way. On this side, at that lower side, you come in by 1 inch here. I come in by 1 inch. And then I'm going to be drawing out my curve. So this is just a basic, you know, idea for your corset design. And then this one too, I'm going to be, you know, curving it out this way. So just take your ruler and curve it out well this way. This one to make sure that it gives me the curve that I want, desired curve that I want here. Okay, like this. So this is it like that. So if I'm now going to do my corset, it's just going to be like I'm going to cut this place out. So this is going to be my corset 1, corset 2 panel side. So all you just do is you will just, you know, cut out these points. I'm going to cut it out like this. I'm going to cut it out. This is going to be here together. So for this place, I'm going to sellotape it together. It becomes one whole pattern like this, right? This one is going to be one whole pattern also. By the time you join it together, it's going to give you your corset.